This is absolutely not what I expected to be talking about on my YouTube channel when I woke up this morning, but here we are. My DMs and my texts were flooded with all types of things about Dan Hooker, and we're going to get into it because not only is he being accused of cheating on his wife, he's also being accused of physical, financial, and mental abuse towards this side piece, and apparently, allegedly, as said by this stripper side piece, apparently he likes dudes as well. So we're going to get into that. This is some fucking wild shit. I did not expect to talk about this at all, but let's get into it, guys. Dan Hooker cheating on his wife, allegedly gay, and allegedly a domestic abuser as well. So stick around and hear the full story. My name is Wyatt. Welcome to Fight Society. All right, so we will start with Grace. This is the alleged side chick. I mean, it's pretty clear that we'll get to the evidence in a sec. It's pretty clear that Dan Hooker spends time with this girl. But here we have Grace. This is literally still on her story right now. It was posted 12 hours ago. And this is what caused all of it. Right here we have, this is the guy y'all look up to. I got cheated on with a man. That's why I broke up with him. And as you see right here, I'll try to blow it up a little bit. And this is not me. All right, guys, don't clip this. This is Dan Hooker's alleged conversations with 6'3" Kiwi on kiwiswingers.co.nz. Okay, allegedly, all right? Don't clip this. I didn't say this, all right? But Dan Hooker allegedly said, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. Again, that's not me. And the guy says, hot, when? 30 minutes? Dan Hooker allegedly. And as you can see, this is a picture of a phone. So this looks like the girl went through Dan's phone and took a bunch of pictures. But I'm busy tonight. I'll let you know. And then he says, then the 6'3" Kiwi says, dough? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm very horny with a big load. Again, this is not me saying this. Don't clip it. And then he said, I'll make next time worth it. Also on her story, all of this is on her story right now. Says chill guy, AKL, straight male 37, which I believe that's how old Dan Hooker is, in Auckland. And you look, if you zoom in, that right there, tattoos, blonde hair, it's a little blurry, but fuck, that looks like Dan Hooker. That really looks like Dan Hooker, dude. Now, of course, this girl could be lying. This is all alleged. That's what I have to say. This is all alleged. She could be lying about him being gay. But she does have quite a bit of shit posted on her story. This is lawsuit type of material. So she's really taking a risk posting this type of thing. And dude, hey, she's gonna end up somewhere. She's gonna end up in a suitcase somewhere, to be honest. I mean, this is the type of way that this is the type of risk she's taken.
No one's taking these type of risks.
And right here, this is allegedly from Dan Hooker's Reddit. I mean, dude, replace your screen protector too, but damn, this is her taking pictures of it. Oh my God, dude, this is crazy. His recently visited subreddits are NZ Gays, r/pegging, NZ Swingers, NZ Gone Wild, and r/Femboys. Dan, no. What are we doing here, bro? You're married with children. What's going on here? If you're gay, you're gay, and that's okay. But the cheating and swinging is pretty fucking weird. If you're gay, you're gay. That's okay. That's cool. It's totally fine. Who the fuck's calling me? Who the fuck is calling me? I mean, if you're gay, you're gay. And if you're gay, then that means you're gay, and that's okay. But the cheating on the wife part and potential abuse is where it starts to get a little weird. I mean, I can't condone that. And, open relationship. I don't know what Dan Hooker and his wife's dynamic is in their relationship, but we'll have to see. Okay. We move forward in her story. And this says, begging for head from a man in a mask, but having my 5'1" ass baddie as a cover up is crazy. # live your truth. And I'll zoom in a little bit more. It says, I'm in Eden Terrace. And Dan allegedly says, free later tonight. I'll be in touch. Somebody says, sweet. And this is between him and Sucka12. And Dan Hooker says, your throat ready? And the guy says, hey, sorry, I can't host until after 11 p.m. or 11:30 when everyone's asleep. Dan then responds over a month later. This is like when a girl hits you back on a dating app, like a month after you're not interested anymore, He says, you free tonight? She says, sorry, or he says, not she, allegedly he says, sorry, got a cold at Mo. I think that might mean at the moment. I don't really know the lingo, but we move on to still, this one is with 6'3" Kiwi. Let me know if you want a repeat sometime, alleging that something has already taken place. And he says, yeah, next time I come, I just want to suck you off. Dan, dude, how are you moving this reckless when you're famous and married, bro? How are you moving this reckless? But I mean, at the same time, you see the Epstein file. Not saying that Dan Hooker's a fucking pedophile like the Epstein files. I'm not saying that. But I mean, when you think about it, the Epstein files, those people weren't even using coded language. I know there's like the pizza and the jerky and all that different weird shit they were throwing around, but they were being pretty straight up in the emails. Like Elon was like, I want young girls, get me over there, some shit like that. Some of these famous people are fucking heavy steppers when it comes to their dirt. Oh my God, man. And he says, okay, yeah, next time I come, I just want to suck you off. And the guy says, yes, absolutely. I'd be ready and waiting. I'll just lay back and leave you to it. I'll leave the door unlocked. Guys, I didn't say this, all right? I didn't say this. Don't clip this like I said it. I'll leave the door unlocked. Walk in, I'll be hard and suck me off. Jesus, man. I'll make sure you go hard. Ooh. I didn't say this. Again, I didn't say this. Don't clip this, people. Dan Hooker allegedly says on this app, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. He never had a chance against Armin Sarukian. He never had a chance. And then she says down here, he paid me a lot to shut the fuck up. And we move on to right here. This is a picture. Now, at least at the very minimum right here, we don't have evidence of Dan Hooker being gay. We have some screenshots. We don't have evidence of him being gay. We don't have evidence of him being a domestic abuser. But very obviously at this point, Dan Hooker has a side chick. There's no way around that at this point. I hate to say it, but when you see this right here, it says 2 years with my DL. Of course, no one would suspect. Look at me. And then she posts another picture, and this is where it starts to look really, really bad for the Dan Hooker gay allegations. And again, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But you see right here, this is a FaceTime screenshot of them. And very clearly, this is the girl. We'll get to her video she posted about it as well. This is him wearing a Mac. Dude, my brother has that shirt. Oh my God. My brother has that same shirt. But he's holding a very clearly like a fleshlight looking deal that says wet bussies. Now that, and look, if you look, it's not wet pussies. You see that little curve right there? It's wet bussies. And then she then has the LGBTQ flag right there. And then right here, another picture of them. And this says, anyways, I'm hot and healing. One day, I hope he can live his truth and stop abusing women physically, financially, and mentally. Now, one thing I want to point out about this picture in particular, August 16th, 2024, the day before he fought Matus Gamrot on the same card as Dricus versus Adesanya, this is the same outfit. And here he is in a lobby. Here he is with Kai Kara France, same outfit. Here he is with his daughter, same outfit. Here he is with Israel Adesanya, same outfit. So this is either press conference or weigh-ins. I actually think this is press conference because I remember this shirt because I have a connection to Izzy crying. I have a mental connection to this fit to Izzy crying because Izzy crying and saying like, I'll fight for my family. I never did, all that shit where he was crying because Dricus pointed out that he had slaves or servants in his house growing up while claiming to grow up impoverished. This was the fit he was wearing. So Dricus was sitting there just cooking Adesanya for a litany of things that he got exposed for. Dog stuff. It was the same one where he's like, who said anything about dogs? And Dan Hooker was there too. And Dan Hooker, same outfit. Oh my goodness. And what's even crazier about this, I'll come back to this story in a sec. What's even crazier about this is 2 weeks ago, she was at UFC 325. So Dan Hooker, this is like some NBA shit. You ever heard like when people talk about NBA players and they're like, oh yeah, the wives sit on that side, the girlfriends sit on that side. This dude, Dan Hooker, has got his fucking side chick up in a hotel, a very nice hotel for UFC 325. This is 2 weeks ago. Dan Hooker got finished by Benoit Saint-Denis, and it's not that, it's a different type of finishing from a guy than we talked about earlier. But he's got this girl here, and if you go back and you look at the stuff she was posting on her story right here, where he's in this outfit that he wore for UFC 305, and then you go look at Dan Hooker's wife's page, And 2 weeks ago, Let's Go Daddy Dan, UFC 325. So he's got his, oh my God, this is so bad, dude. Like that girl is sitting up just a little bit higher and further from the cage than his wife. But that girl's sitting in the stands. This, what OnlyFans chick, stripper, whatever she is, she's looking down, pointing cage side. She's like, that's his wife and kids right there. Look at this, dude. Cage side. Well, that other girl is also there. And then if you also look, you scroll back a little bit, UFC 305. UFC 305. The same outfit that he wore here, the same outfit that he wore here, UFC 305. Oh, Jesus. This is not a good look for the Hangman. This is not a good look for Hangman Dan, all right? Now, we move on. Oh, and here's one thing I want to say. She says, stop abusing women physically, financially, and mentally. We have zero evidence whatsoever of Dan Hooker being a domestic abuser. He pretty clearly cheated on his wife or had a side chick. This is plenty of evidence right there. That we can believe. And you know what? He's a pro athlete. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's okay. A lot of these guys have side chicks. It just happens. I think it's weird. I think this whole fuck whoever you want, even though you got a wife and kid shit is really weird. No Bromo MMA, one of my friends on YouTube, he did a video about this as well. He talked about this. Like this open relationship shit is kind of weird. But okay, we very clearly have confirmation that he had a side chick. But the gay allegations, there's a little bit of there's a little bit of wiggle room to potentially not believe it. Like, of course, this does look like Dan Hooker down here, chill guy, Auckland. And then all this other stuff does not look good. But he very clearly had a side chick, and he had a thing called wet bussies, which is wild. But another confirmation of their relationship right here. It says, if anything happens to harm me in any way, it was him. So yeah, if I end up in a suitcase somewhere, y'all know who did it. So there's no way to avoid, look at the way she's sitting on his lap. They're like all smiley. He's making public appearances. Like this looks like it's at a fight event or something like that. Dan Hooker's making public appearances with this side chick, bro. This is a fucking crazy L to me. And then here, another screenshot from the Kiwi Swingers account, whatever. And it says, anyone that thinks this shit is fake is so dumb. And no, I'm not trying to ruin his career. He's doing that himself with his trash grappling. So this girl is saying that he's an abuser and he's gay. And he's the fact that he's cheating on his wife, allegedly gay, and allegedly assaulting the side chick. And even the mistress that has allegedly been abused is making a joke about Dan Hooker's grappling. This is the most MMA thing possible. This is the most MMA thing I've ever seen. And it says, can we see you tonight? Can we see you? Who is we? Oh, shit. Album invite expired. He says, of course. Someone says, no way the Hangman is on here. I'm sure if this is fake, he will find you. He said, haha, trying to be low key. Have you had much group experience? That would mean the we means a group experience. So Dan Hooker might be going to a gay orgy. He might be leaving the wife and kids at home to take down multiple men. And he's got to do it this way because he's not taking down no men in the cage. You know what I mean? So right here, you have some simp emailing her, or not emailing her, DMing her saying, must be a crazy mental illness to cheat on you, let alone with a guy. Just fucking simp. And then right here, oh my God, had to fact check. Hope you're okay. You deserve so much more. This is just weird fucking simp shit. And then here, obviously, she posted this, right? A video as well that has been picked up by Dovey Sue MMA. And she said, how I feel reading Twitter comments. This might be her at one of Dan Hooker's fights. And then she says, ain't no coming back after certain shit. And I don't think people be realizing that. So there we have her proof or evidence, I guess, of Dan Hooker cheating. The domestic abuse, no evidence so far of that. So I'm not going to call Dan Hooker a domestic abuser. When we have evidence of John Jones actually getting arrested for beating his wife, we can't just throw everything around. We can't just throw every allegation around it like it's true, especially when it comes to abuse. Now, if you're gay, if you're cheating on your wife, that's a little bit more not my business. But the abuse shit, if you're beating on somebody, especially beating on women, different thing. Now, this is the post that Dovey Sue MMA put up on their Twitter. And it says, former stripper and Dan Hooker's side chick says he took her out of the strip club. Oh no, Dan Hooker's a trick too, bro. He's a gay abusing trick if this is all true. And cheating on his woman. Oh, and cheating on the mother of his kids. What's going on? What is MMA? What is my job? Why do this is what I covered. This is what I do for a living. This right here says former stripper. Oh yeah, took her out of the strip club and bought her lavish gifts while his wife knew. She said she stopped the relationship because he cheated on her with a man. Now, first off, it's a side chick. So you can't get cheated on because you're already the side chick. You're the one being cheated with, not cheated on. You remember that old DaBaby video? You a certified side bitch.
Shawty is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And Shawty is not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My side bitch. Shawty is a certified side bitch.
That's her. You can't get cheated on if you're the side chick. But this is what she had to say.
Ending here is that, yes, he is married. And when I met him, I was working in the booty club. He was just like a client, like at the time. This was like 2023. And he took me out the club, Captain Save a Hoe, right? Loves that shit. He loves a OF girl. He loves a ripper. He loves Captain Save a Hoe. So, yeah.
Bro, you're married with 2 young kids and you're cheating with this. You're cheating with OnlyFans girls and hookers. Oh my God. Dan Prostituta getting with the prostitutas, you know? Oh my God.
Yeah, he started paying for my life completely and utterly, had all his cards on my Apple Pay, paid for my rent in 2 different countries, like everything. I tried to leave this.
Paid for my rent in 2 different countries. Dan, if this is true, man, come on, stop tricking.
Man, so many fucking times, but he'd always get me back with something shiny and new. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new bag. So yes, he played up a lot, to the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list every time he cheated on me, right? And I kind of started looking on his phone every time, like trying to find a new bitch, a new problem so I could get a...
Bro, Dan Hooker's a pay pig. He's a gay pay pig. Or a bi pay, he's a bi pay pig. If this is all true, all of this is alleged. All of this is alleged. If this is true, Dan Hooker is a bisexual pay pig. Now I just think about Dan Hooker being like, boys, I love this shit in his corner. I'm like, damn, dude, this is a crazy motherfucker. How much damage did Dustin Poirier do, man?
Until I found out that it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed because like, no. And then I got abused from that. But we're not going to get into that.
So it was okay that he was married. It was okay that he was married and cheating with you and also getting with other girls as long as he bought you stuff. But him getting with dudes is where we draw the line. What kind of moral compass does this fucking woman have? And she's a stripper. She's essentially, I mean, if she's getting paid for this type of service to be Dan's side chick, in my opinion, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. She's a fucking sex worker. This is escorting with extra steps. Sugar baby, whatever. You're a sex worker. This is prostitution with extra steps. So her moral compass is not very good. But anyways.
Yes, he was married. Is married. And me and her get along fine. Like, it's fine. It's like a lot of people, you don't really know this, but pretty much there's a lot of fucking guys that if they have money and status, they'll be married and then they'll have like their girlfriend. All right. It's just the way of life. And like, it's not.
Now, of course, that's true. There's plenty of athletes that got side bitches. I mean, if you mean fucking Stephon Diggs had Cardi B pregnant and they are together or were together, and he had like 5 other women pregnant at the same time. She's right that this does happen with a lot of guys of money and status, but holy moly, his wife knew? She knew? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Not a way of life I would ever do again. Learned my lesson. Shit, if you're married, never hit me up, ever. I'm never doing that.
Unless you're gonna buy her stuff and not fuck dudes.
And again, and also it was a lot of convincing for me to even get to that position of dating. I was 22 when I met him. He was 34. And like,
I know she's over 18, but that's a big age gap. And that's weird when you involve the money. I don't know. That's some dicey shit, Dan.
Having someone like pay all this money and like get you out of like what you were doing for work and like all these things, like the manipulation tactics were gorgeous, amazing, stunning. He ate that up. But yeah, I would not recommend that. And if you want to say, oh, you were just a side piece, yes and no.
Yes, you were a side piece. He's literally married. This is what happens, bro. This is what happens with side chicks a lot of the time. They don't understand their role. And I'm not going to say this is okay to have a side chick, because it's not. It's immoral, weird, degenerate shit. But to say you're not the side, no, don't get too big for your britches, okay? He wants you for the ass. He doesn't want you for nothing else. I mean, Whoa. But yes, you're the side. You like, I'll play it again.
My side bitch. Shawty is a certified side bitch.
I think that excuses the abuse and everything that I had to go through just because of the way that the relationship is set up. Like, I don't know if you guys have traveled much around the world, but in like Muslim cultures, you can have like 3 wives. In Vietnam, 3 wives. Like, if you have enough money, you can have what you want, all right? And honestly, he's a fucking handful. Like, if I would hate to date him without him being married, because bitch, 24/7, no. And also, I want to mention, there was a girl before me. He dated a girl for 3 years before me and played the fuck up on her too. And a girl before that. And now there's another girl after. Like, it's like, he is a piece of shit. I took what I could out of the situation by cheating on me with a man, kidnapping me.
So that's where it cuts off. She says that he kidnapped her, all this stuff. This sounds, I mean, keep in mind, Dan Hooker, you're in the wrong for cheating on your wife. I don't know what your arrangement is, but that open marriage shit is weird. In my opinion, that's not a marriage. If you're doing that shit, that's not a relationship. That's not a marriage. That's just weird. Marriage is on borrowed time, if that's the case, in my opinion. For her to start throwing around abuse allegations, for her to start throwing around kidnapping allegations with no evidence is not good. That is fucked up. We saw the same thing with Ilya Taporia's wife. She ended up rescinding her case. This girl, in my opinion, yes, Dan Hooker cheated on his wife. Yes, he very well might be bisexual, hooking up with dudes on the side. He very well might be. And if he does, that as far as like the moral side of him being gay, that's fine. I'm not mad at him being gay. Not at all. It's totally okay. But doing this while you're married with kids, making videos, making YouTube videos with your daughter, like, oh, look at this father's son, my best mate. She's my little best mate. The shit that Dan Hooker does, this has a way different tone once you have all this info. But I will say, I'm not going to go for this abuse allegations. Dan Hooker doesn't seem like an abuser. And this just seems like a side chick that her participation in this racket ran its course and he moved on. And now she's mad because her money got cut off. He took her out of the club. He took her off the streets, gave her money, paid her rent in 2 different countries. That's wild. That's some weird pay pig shit. But he did that. And then he was possibly just done with her. And now she's mad about it because she's going to have to hit that fucking corner again. You know? So I'd say take the allegations of abuse with a serious grain of salt. I'd take the gay allegations with a minor grain of salt. And then the cheating, it's pretty clear. There's photo evidence. So this right here, we have Dan Hooker talking about Patty Pimblett. And now this was funny a few weeks ago. Now it's vastly different with all of this information.
Fight Patty if he loses.
I don't give a fuck about Patty Pimblett. If he wants to make it up to me, I got 9 inches he can choke on. But 9 inches he can choke on.
That seems so much different now. Holy shit. And then, of course, you know, married with kids. This is some crazy, crazy shit. I mean, Dan Hooker. I mean, some simps, of course, but Dan Hooker. I mean, dude. I mean, this is a sex worker, bro. Look at her IG. You're over here getting exposed by a sex worker. It says 2 years with my DL, but they've apparently already broken up. So 2 years with my, oh my God, this is nuts, dude. What do I say about this, man? What do I say about this? The abuse, if he did that shit, that's obviously wrong. Stepping out on your wife, I think is weird, even if she's okay with it, whatever that really means. But goddamn, Dan Prostituta, you have gotten yourself in one fucking hell of a pickle. And it's not the pickle that you like choking on. It's a different type of pickle, you know? Yeah, this is weird shit, man. This is really weird shit. Abuse allegations, I don't believe until I have proof. But the rest of it, oh my God, Dan Hooker, you are on. This is a bad look. What the fuck is the Paramount era so far? What is the Paramount era so far? I mean, we just had Strickland yesterday calling basically everybody, every slur in the book. Holy shit, this is crazy. So anyways, guys, this is what we have so far. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, swipe left on the comment section and hit that hype button if you're watching on your phone. Shoot us a follow on Instagram at Fight Society Official, and I'll see you guys next time. Do you want more from Fight Society? Like and subscribe below this video and click the join button to become a channel member today to get access to behind the scenes vlogs and members only live streams.